Hello and welcome to another episode of today's GK. Consider the following statements regarding the Chief Election Commissioner. The CEC is appointed by the President of India. The CEC can resign anytime or can be removed even before the expiry of his or her term. So we had to select the correct statement. I hope you have answered it correctly. The correct answer is option C. The Chief Election Commissioner of India along with the election commissioners is appointed by the President of India. He or she has a fixed tenure of 6 years or up to the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. They can resign anytime or can also be removed before the expiry of their term. The CEC can be removed from office only through a process of removal similar to that of a SC, Supreme Court judge by the Parliament, and judges of High Courts and Supreme Court, CEC, Comptroller and Auditor General may be removed from office through a motion adopted by Parliament on the grounds of proved misbehavior or incapacity. Removal requires a special majority of 2/3 members present and voting supported by more than 50% of the total strength of the House. Consider the following statements. Savitribai Phule started the Mahila Seva Mandal to raise awareness about women's rights. 𝐃𝐫𝐢𝐬𝐡𝐭𝐢 was authored by Jyotirao Phule. The All India Women's Conference was initiated by the Phule couple. We have to select the correct statement. Only the first one is correct. A is the correct answer. Savitribai Phule was a social reformer of the 19th century who worked in the field of women education. She was born on 3rd January 1831 at Naigaon in Maharashtra's Satara district. Savitribai Phule died on 10th of March 1897. In 1852, Savitribai Phule started the Mahila Seva Mandal to raise awareness about women's rights. She was also a poet whose literature is considered as the literature of the oppressed. Some of her works include Kavya Phule, Bavan Kashi Subodh, Ratnakar Matushri, Savitribai Phulenchi Bhashane Va Gani. The All India Women's Conference was initiated by Sarojini Naidu. Consider the following statements. Telecom Regulatory Authority of India was established by an executive order. Telecommunications Dispute Settlement and Appellate Tribunal took over the adjudicatory and disputes functions from TRAI. We have to select the correct statement. Only the second is correct. B is the correct answer. The Telecom Regulatory Authority of India may cut the reserve price for 5G spectrum by 30 to 50% against what it had recommended in 2018. TRAI was established by an Act of the Parliament, namely Telecom Regulatory Authority of India Act 1997. It was set up to regulate telecom services including fixation, revision of tariffs for telecom services. It provides a fair and transparent policy environment that promotes a level playing field and facilitates fair competition. The TRAI Act was amended to establish a telecommunications dispute settlement and appellate tribunal to take over the adjudicatory and disputes function from TRAI. TDSAT was set up to adjudicate any dispute between a licensor and a licensee, two or more service providers, a service provider and a group of consumers, to hear and dispose of appeals against any direction, decision or order of the TRAI. Consider the following statements. The State Election Commission conducts the election of the Legislative Assembly and the local bodies in the state. The State Election Commissioner is appointed by the President of India. We have to select the correct statement. Both are incorrect. D is the correct answer. In a dramatic turn of events, the Delhi State Election Commission deferred the announcement of the dates to the civic body polls in the capital. The State Election Commission has been entrusted with the function of conducting free, fair and impartial elections to the local bodies in the states. The election of the Legislative Assembly of the states are conducted by the Election Commission of India. Article 243K Clause 1 states a State Election Commissioner is to be appointed by the Governor, and Article 243K Clause 2 states that the tenure and appointment will be directed as per the law made by the state legislature. However, the State Election Commissioner shall not be removed from his or her office except in like manner and on the like grounds as a judge of the High Court. Consider the following statements. The line of actual control was negotiated by the United Nations. The McMahon line marks out previously unclaimed, undefined borders between Britain and Tibet. Darbuk Shok Daulat Beg Oldie Road connects Lahore Spiti and Kinnaur. We have to select the correct statement. Only the second statement is correct. The correct answer is option B, 2 only. China said it hoped military level talks with India, set for 11th March, would move forward the negotiations on disagreement along the LAC towards an unacceptable solution for both sides. The concept of LAC came in a bilateral agreement in 1993, although there was no concrete settlement on ground positions between the two countries. The alignment of the LAC in the eastern sector is along the 1914 McMahon Line, which was marked out previously, unclaimed, undefined borders between Britain and Tibet. Darbuk Shok Daulat Beg Oldie Road joins Leh to the Karakoram Pass, which divides Ladakh from China's Xinjiang province. Consider the following statements. Under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, the burden of proof lies with the accused. Under the PMLA Act, the CBI is empowered to conduct a money laundering investigation. We have to select the correct statement. Only the first is correct. A is the correct answer. The Supreme Court recently focused on the rights of those under trial in money laundering cases. It said that they cannot wait endlessly behind bars for the trial to commence. The PMLA 2002 forms the core of the legal framework put in place by India to combat money laundering, and the main objective of this legislation is to fight money laundering, which is the process of converting black money into white. Under the PMLA, the burden of proof lies with the accused, who has to prove that the suspect property or assets have not been obtained through proceeds of the crime. Under PMLA Act, the Enforcement Directorate is empowered to conduct a money laundering investigation. Consider the following statements. It is a transcontinental country located mainly in the Anatolia in Western Asia. It shares borders with Black Sea to the north and the Mediterranean Sea to the south. Cyprus is located off the south coast. The statements above best describe which of the following countries? Turkey is the correct answer, option D. The foreign ministers of Ukraine and Russia are scheduled to meet for talks on the sidelines of the Antalya Diplomatic Forum in Turkey. Turkey is a transcontinental country located mainly in Anatolia in Western Asia with a portion on the Balkans in Southeast Europe. It shares borders with Greece and Bulgaria to the northwest, the Black Sea to the north, Georgia to the northeast, Armenia, Azerbaijan and Iran to the east, Iraq to the southeast, Syria and Mediterranean Sea to the south and Aegean Sea to the west, and Cyprus is located off the south coast of Turkey. Ankara is Turkey's capital, while Istanbul is the largest city and financial center. Consider the following statements with respect to the Mikoyan MiG-29. It was a Soviet response to the American F-16 multi-role fighter. The fighter is known in the West as the Fulcrum E, and it was developed in 1977, so we have to select the not correct statement. Only the third is not correct. D is the correct answer. The Mikoyan MiG-29M is a Russian multi-role fighter developed in 2005. It was a Soviet response to the American F-16 multi-role fighter. The fighter is known in the West as the Fulcrum E. After Russia, Ukraine is the next major operator with 6 segments. Other operators include Belarus, Bulgaria, Cuba, Eritrea, Germany, Hungary, India, Iran, Iraq, Kazakhstan, North Korea, Malaysia, Peru, Poland, Romania, Slovakia, Syria, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and Yugoslavia. Unified District Information System for Education Plus Data has been released. Consider the following statements. In private schools, enrollment in primary levels registered a drop, and among girls, all levels barring pre-primary registered a jump in enrollment numbers. We have to select the correct statement. Both are correct. C is the correct answer. A closer look at the latest round of Unified District Information System for Education Plus Data shows in private schools, enrollment in primary levels registered a drop of 22.28 lakhs and 11.6 lakh respectively. On the other hand, government schools, primary and upper primary grades registered a rise of 18.82 lakh and 9.28 lakh students respectively. So, the report notes that the drop in the numbers at the pre-primary level may be an outcome of the postponement of school admissions of young children during the pandemic. Even among girls, all levels barring pre-primary registered a jump in enrollment numbers. Consider the following countries. Maldives, Bangladesh, India and Sri Lanka. Which of the countries mentioned above are a part of the Colombo Security Conclave? Maldives is a part, India and Sri Lanka. These all are a part of Colombo Security Conclave. A is the correct answer. The fifth meeting of NSAs of the Colombo Security Conclave was held in the Maldives. It is a grouping of India, Sri Lanka and Maldives. The members of the grouping remain vulnerable to trafficking, organized crime and maritime terrorism, particularly in the light of the developments in Afghanistan. Mauritius was accepted as the fourth member, remember this, for the grouping, and Bangladesh and Seychelles, which too have been invited to join the Colombo Security Conclave, attended the meeting as observer states. Consider the following statements with respect to Covovax. It is produced by Bharat Biotech under license from Novavax. It can be administered to adults above 18 years of age only. We have to select the correct statement. Both are incorrect. D is the correct answer. India's drug regulator has approved the coronavirus vaccine Covovax for emergency use in adults and children aged 12 and above. The vaccine named Covovax TM is produced by the Serum Institute of India under license from Novavax and is part of the COVAX facility portfolio. Covovax TM is a subunit of the vaccine developed by Novavax and the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovation, and it requires 2 doses and is stable at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius refrigerated temperatures. The vaccine uses a novel platform and is produced by creating an engineered bacillovirus containing a gene for a modified SARS-CoV-2 spike protein. With reference to the refugees in India, consider the following statements. In India, the state governments have no powers to grant refugee status to any foreigner. India is not a member of the United Nations Refugee Convention of 1951. We have to select the correct statement. That's it for today. Tomorrow we shall meet again with another segment. Until then, stay updated and thank you so much for watching.